I am Todd from GoodCleanFunLife.com.
And I'm Tony Russo. Not nearly as excited as I guess I ought to be.
Live studio audience is very.
They're very happy to see us here at the Todcast.
Thank you.
All sorts of fun this week. This is episode 200, which is why everyone is so excited to be around us. What I don't even know it. I don't recognize that song.
But it's a weird song.
As a Jets fan, I'm not used to hearing anybody be happy about football, so it's kind of weird for me. So we're here this week at the Crowbar's annual
Fall beer tasting.
Which is a blast. I've never been available and excited to come before. I've been excited to come. I've never come before, but now I've been here. It's been a blast. We're trying all the beers from all the places. It's not as exciting apparently as the Redskins not being bad for 20 minutes at a time. But hey. Take what you can get. Lots of people get up to this week.
This week was a crazy week. The hot blonde, our original intern, got married.
All grown up.
Today at the Crowbar here, we opened a 4-year-old bottle of Bunker C.
That's fantastic.
That was pretty fun. We got bar owners, we got restaurant owners, we got brewers here having a good time.
Absolutely, very exciting.
We planned this day so that all of the Ravens fans wouldn't have to worry, but apparently we have a pretty good Redskins contingency.
Turned out, which is cool. What am I drinking? This is very good.
That's the third wave.
Oh, is that the pumpkin?
That's the pumpkin beer that you brought.
I think after 7 or 8 beers, it tastes a lot better than it does the first time I tasted. It's more subtle than I'm like, it almost tastes like a pumpkin beer.
There you go. And we have, I don't know how many beers up there.
30.
It's easily 30.
Yeah.
And it's a very, loosey-goosey.
Solid
Everybody just
mix.
coming by. Like to thank Starboard for sponsoring the cups.
Yes, that was damn nice of them. I went through 3 Starboard cups, and I tried to be, it's one of these things is you try to be careful with it because you don't want to be wasteful, but you also don't want to not have a beer if you don't have a cup handy.
Right.
So you got to balance it out. And so several times I didn't have a cup handy, and I'm like, well, they're trying that beer now, and I don't know where my cup is, but I want to try this beer before it's gone. So I'm getting another cup.
Yeah.
And also there's tequila, and that's apparently a tradition of some sort.
It's definitely a Berlin tradition.
Up in front of me, you can come. We're gonna have the occasional photo bomber. I think we should just own it. Feel free.
So Adam Downs brought local Berlin resident brought some great beer from RAR.
I went to RAR. RAR did a limited edition 80 case run of their dank beer, which is 9.8% double IPA. Delicious beer.
Have you had that, Tony?
I have, and you know what I like about that? I like Sean. I don't know if you know Sean Hager from. I'm sorry, we're gonna look at the camera. I don't know if you know Sean Hager, but he likes the floor. I don't like the floral IPAs. I like IPAs without a lot of nose. I like lots of flavor, not a lot of nose, and that's what I like about the dank. It's all flavor.
It's total
Hardly any. Even my wife likes it. My wife's one of those. I don't like IPAs, and then it's like, oh, except for this one. And what she discovered is she doesn't like the floral.
Yep, that makes sense.
And some people love it. I like that. A good friend of mine, Sean Hager, who's getting married actually, like as we speak. It's like beer people marry weekend.
They're also doing. They're starting to distribute their Nanticoke Nectar in cans now. Everyone at your local liquor store or beer store. Cheers has got them in Salisbury. Cheers has got them in Berlin. So Legends is distributing them. Kerry is starting to distribute them. They're starting to put some good beers out there. It's really nice to see local beers being distributed in stores. So
I love the way your wife looks at you, like how sweet, like he's playing with his blocks. He's playing with his box.
We have millions.
She looked at you and was like, "Why is Adam on the camera right now? Get him out of here."
I think you just became our local correspondent for Cambridge.
All right, so this is really good beer. Back to you, Todd. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you. And so along those lines, I wanted to talk a little bit about my new job because I'm very excited about it.
This is something else to be excited about.
Very excited.
Right?
I didn't get to say it because I was trying to shout over the Redskin chant or whatever, the Redskin fight song on
the only fight song in the NFL.
Is that true?
That is true.
Well, the Jets, again, I'm a Jets fan. If they had a fight song, how would I know it? They stopped fighting in 1973. So I'm now the editor of OceanCity.com, which is kind of a plum gig.
That's pretty awesome.
Big deal, yeah. So
and kind of hilarious at the same time.
And also very hilarious. I've been vocal. So when I was a reporter in Berlin, one of the things I styled myself as is like the anti-Ocean City guy. It's like I'm the Ocean City hater, and this is why Berlin was better. And mostly, like 60-ish% of it was just me being obnoxious. And 40%,
you like to be obnoxious.
I love to be obnoxious. And 40% of it was true. So we're gonna flip that. We're gonna try to tone it down. But I think it'll be good because I'm not a homer. I mean, I'm going to say, as someone who doesn't particularly find Ocean City charming, here's what's charming about Ocean City.
Right.
My new boss, we had a nice meeting this week, and they're really just gonna. I don't know if they have any idea what they've gotten themselves into. They're like, yeah, you want to write, you want to do podcasts, you do, as long as you're putting stuff out.
Yeah. And
the FCC doesn't turn our website off or whatever.
Which they can't because
I should be in good shape. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that some of the stuff that we were starting to do when I left Berlin,
right,
we can kickstart back into OceanCity.com and SureCraftBeer.com. I don't know if the game just ended or the world just ended.
I don't know. All I know is everybody loves the Todcast.
Everybody loves the Todcast. Also, so not enough hand. Microphone. Okay. I have news. I don't know if you got a chance to look at the news.
No, I haven't.
This is not breaking news. As you may or may not recall from past shows, I started posting the stories for the week on Storify. And I call this my apology. And as you know, because you had a kid in a fancy college, apology is Latin for explanation.
Yeah.
Or Greek for explanation. So last week I called it Let Me Explain, and this week I'm calling it excuse me. And this week I'm calling it my apology. So first order of business is we wanted to talk about the wine flies. Do you have wine flies? Do they come in?
They do. Yeah, not fruit flies, but wine flies.
Wine flies. I think
because they smell like.
That's the thing, right? I have a superpower. I can smell wine flies, and they smell like Metal Dunkin' Donuts. And now that you know they smell like Metal Dunkin', you're like, what do Metal Dunkin' Donuts smell like? Well, they smell like wine flies. Yeah, if you smell now, you'll be able to smell that, which is my little gift to you guys. Did you get a chance to go to Zach's wedding?
I did.
Tell me about it.
I was actually not only at his wedding.
Oh, you were the
I was the
referee?
MC. I was the referee.
Referee.
Actually, referee is a great way to put it. It was our hot blonde got married. It was a wonderful event. And there was food, drink, song, and everybody enjoyed themselves. One of the best parts is that Bad Sense Breakfast was playing. They're supposed to play like a little, cocktail hour between. Obviously, the weather played a huge factor in what was going on with that. They were supposed to be outside in a tent.
Right.
Turns out you can't set up a tent in a nor'easter and break it down in a hurricane.
It's harder than you think.
So they didn't do that. And one of the people who worked there, Laura, is a manager at the hotel. She said it best to Zach. She's like, "You're gonna have one hell of a story."
Right.
I'm like, for sure. It's like, hey, remember when we had that nor'easter and hurricane? I got married that week.
Absolutely.
And it was great. They had a wonderful event. You walk in the front door, every guest was handed a fresh orange crush as they walked in. And I'm pretty sure.
But was it an original orange crush?
There's only one original. I don't know where it's from.
All of them have. They're all the original.
But and related to the orange crush, I have a great story that we're gonna project that we're working on. But original orange crush, fresh orange crush at the very least.
Crushed orange crush.
Handed it to people as they walked in. It was a good time. Bad Sense Breakfast, as I said, they didn't get to play that cocktail hour, so they played the reception, and everybody
People danced and had a good time.
There's much fun to be had.
So what's your Orange Crush project?
So we're not doing an Orange Crush project. Have you ever seen Drunk History?
I know this is his thing. I've not seen it.
You should watch it. I think that you would really appreciate it. One, because you
Somebody
like
gets
history,
drunk and talks about history.
and two, you like getting drunk.
Yeah.
Presumably.
And so somebody just like gets loaded and tells a story about history.
Yes. So what we've decided to do is we adopted that for one of the videos that we're doing for the Starboard. They have, of course, one of the largest Bloody Mary bars with 800 ingredients.
I see.
So we're doing a drunk history of the Bloody Mary.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So there's some, it's subject to a lot of legend.
Right.
Hemingway is said to have been involved. And then this guy, Pete Petchot, this French expat, or, working at Harry's New York bar in Paris.
Right.
Basically,
where the Manhattan allegedly was
and then came over to Chicago. And, so we got one of the better known waiters, bartenders over there, hammered. And
he told the story.
He told the story, and then we have other people acting out, the whole scenario.
Oh, that's fun. So like cut to,
yeah,
like somebody saying, I don't want orange juice, I want tomato juice.
So the best part about it is, so basically if you've never seen the show before, it's basically the narration is done by the drunk guy. You don't have a whole lot of footage of the drunk guy, but you're using his narration.
Right.
So the actors are the ones who every once in a while break character and we're like, hold on a second, I gotta go take a piss. Or whatever.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So that will be coming out soon. Fun project we're working on and excited to be doing.
So one of the things we hope to do, start doing the more Toddcast, more live, more together, in the next 2 weeks. My first day in Ocean City is October 20th or whatever that Monday is.
Okay.
So sometime that week is when we hope to do it. But until then, I've got to practice something because usually Todd talks and I look up the next story.
Yeah.
Because we switch from camera to camera. But when we're both on camera, it's a little hard to do. Oh, I wanted to talk about DraftKings. I mean, did we talk about DraftKings last week?
We discussed it, and since discussing it, I had mentioned that I'm now a member of fantasy football.
Right.
There's obviously a lot of football fans here, but there's people who are also into DraftKings.
Right.
And FanDuel is the other one. Oh, that's great. You had a leaf fall in your hair.
How exciting.
I'm going to grab it. No.
We're outdoors, kids.
There you go.
That's real creamy on your hand. I have showered recently.
So, so I think it's a terrible thing.
Well,
it's legalized gambling.
It is. Well, it is legalized gambling, and I don't have a problem with it being legalized gambling. I told you my whole thing is like we used to wish we were players, now we wish we were owners. Yes. But there was a great tweet that I picked up when I was doing my DraftKings search, and it goes like this: I'd rather my husband be on Ashley Madison than DraftKings.com. And I thought that was
pretty much the same thing,
right? Yeah, and the reason that I was mad at them this week was because they had a post asking whether I think it was Joe Flacco. Is Joe Flacco an elite quarterback?
Right. They've been talking about that for years.
Yeah, I got some breaking news. All right, here's some breaking news. So the other thing is I'm always ready to be photobombed. So whenever someone walks to my left, I'm waiting for them to come on screen. So here's the thing. Elite means that what? What does elite mean? Do you think?
One of the best.
One of the best. So this is a planet with 7 billion people on it. 32 of them.
32 out of 7 billion
get paid to throw a football professionally. I think they're all elite. I think the top 60 people on the planet of 7 billion, they're elite.
Anybody who's playing a game for $1 million,
that's elite.
That's pretty elite.
We'll go ahead and cross that off. So I've settled the Joe Flacco controversy. He is an elite quarterback. Hell, Mark Sanchez is an elite quarterback because, he's better at it than really 7 billion other people. Rounding out.
You or me or anyone else here or even in this town.
Right. And actually better than the 300 million, there are 300 million people in the U.S., they're better than all of them.
Are there 300 million people in the U.S.?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
Well, it is a lot. But, I mean, it's not as much as, like, let's say, China, where there are a billion. 300 million, less than a billion.
It's always good to get a lesson in math at the same time.
I apologize for my lack of preparation because, again, I'm not.
We don't have a producer yet.
We don't have.
It's been a long time since we've done this
together and live. I mean, it might be 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, we did maybe 2 last year together. Yeah. So the other thing, I got to cover something called the Ramble Festival in Laurel, and I wanted to talk about it. All right. So the town of Laurel in Delaware is to do a downtown redevelopment, and they're trying to get people excited about it. And what they want to do is they want to build a river walk, and they want to like put businesses up there, and they want to attract a lot of excitement. And what they did to kind of introduce the idea to the community was they built a pretend one. So I have a photo here.
That's kind of
so they put up like a pretend, like literally a pretend building, you know, like they stuck pictures of a building on the front of another building, and they're like, these are what the houses might look like. These are what the houses might look like. And all along, like on other buildings, like there was just one empty building. On top of it, it said, you know, the cat room at the Ramble, and the other one said art gallery at the Ramble. And they had a walkway.
You're right.
Lined out, so just like a football field. Excuse me, beer. Generally, we have coffee with this.
Yeah.
So, and what the lines did, I think, was like made it more real. It's like, it's not like you're not sitting in a room. They're like, okay, picture what it would be like if there was a walkway that took you from point A to point B. They're like, there's a fucking walkway. Walk on it, right? And so I did, and I wrote like a 2,000-word epic about my walk. And this little old lady grabbed me, and so like she's like this old grand dame of Laurel. She grew up in Laurel in the 1600s or whatever. Right. And so like she took my arm, and we're walking along. She's like, I remember when that was, you know, the place where they killed people or whatever they did, right? And so we walked along. We walked along the whole river and got to explore what it would be like if they did this. And it's kind of weird now. And so they hope to have it every year, and they're hoping that as the economic development continues, they'll have like so next
More
year
things.
The art gallery might be real, but the other buildings will still be fake. And
so are they leaving the fake buildings up?
I don't think so. I'm sure that, I mean, the hurricane, they got to be down by now. They were made of paper. But the other thing what that made me think of, and I don't know if we talked about this last week, was Box Trolls.
Yes.
Did I tell you about
That's your favorite movie of all time.
Now it is, yeah. Did I tell you about it? Was that on air that I talked about it? Or
yeah. I don't know.
At the end of Box Trolls is a stop motion animation picture, and at the end of it, they pulled back and they sped up, and you could see the guy slowly, very quickly putting, and the people moving slowly. And so my idea about the Laurel Ramble would be just like that. Like every year you come back and there's one more building where there didn't used to be a building. But if you sped it up, you know, if you ran 10 years over the course of 20 minutes. So that was the Ramble, and that was a pretty cool.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to cover. And again, looking forward to coming back.
It kind of makes me think it'd be fun to like set up businesses that we want in town in like fake facades,
right?
And just set them in front of like the antique stores,
right?
Like this would be much better than an antique store.
How much cooler would it be if this was like a paintball factory,
right? Or a strip club.
It's funny. I don't know if I told you this or not. I think I've told most people this. I've never actually been inside a strip club.
Yeah.
And now I've reached a point where I'm probably never gonna. Right. I'm not 20 anymore.
I spent a long time of my life where I had never been to a strip club in the United States.
Where had you been?
In Canada.
Oh.
Niagara Falls.
Did they take off their clothes at Canadian strip clubs? Or did
Everybody's
they just bump
very
into you
apologetic.
Yeah, they don't. They just bump into you and don't say excuse me. Yeah. And so, what do you have coming up this week? What do you got going on? We also didn't pregame like we pregamed, but we didn't plan.
This week, because of the hurricane and all that good stuff, or bad stuff that happened, a lot of things got postponed. Actually, Dewey Goes Pink, the breast cancer 5K that's going on up at the Starboard, is going to be happening this following weekend. So that's going to be coming up on Saturday. So we're going to be able to do that. The Redskin or the The Redskins just won apparently, but
People
also
are very excited if you hadn't noticed.
But also the Ravens pulled out an overtime victory, and of course the kicker Justin Tucker, does his live show from Nick's Fish House in Baltimore, another property that we having some involvement with. So we're going to be going up there on Tuesday to kind of check things out. So
that's cool. Now, do you guys produce that, or does someone else?
No, that's like produced by they got people. It's a local. Yeah, absolutely. Come on camera with a couple shots of Toronto. So I think it's produced by some channel up there that does it.
It's a television thing.
It's a television thing.
I recently realized how much pop culture I'm just so out of the loop for now. We're not watching television. One of the things, hi baby. One of the things I really like to do is not like fall into fads if I can help it.
Right.
And earlier this year, I decided, I swear to God, without knowing any better, that I was going to start wearing more bow ties and suspenders.
Oh, right, because you want,
So I bought all these bow ties and suspenders, and then I looked around and like, oh no, that's what every 13-year-old boy is now wearing. So if anybody wants to buy some bow ties and suspenders cheap.
Guess what Brian Brushmiller was wearing at Zach's wedding last night?
Oh, weddings are different, right? Weddings are different.
Yeah.
I wear it to weddings.
Yeah.
But like I was gonna wear them every time.
Right, right.
And I've also I didn't bring a cuff shirt, but I've been wearing cufflinks a lot lately.
Yes.
And one of the things that I've developed, and I think I invented this. This is why I want to be public about it on the Todcast. I call it the writer's cuff.
Okay.
Because generally, when you have a cufflink, you pinch the cuffs together.
Right.
But
it goes through.
Right. But when you write all the time, that gets in your way. So instead of pinching them together, I fold them over. So
fold them back?
The cuffs overlap
and
go through. And I've named that the writer's cuff.
Writer's cuff.
And if nobody's done anything like that,
is that like
I call it
a Windsor versus a double Windsor?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the writer's cuff. So you heard it here. Hopefully you heard it here first. Hopefully you heard it here at all. But if you heard it here, you heard it here first. So
I like that.
So if the next time you wear cufflinks, do it like that, and then somebody's like, "Oh, you're doing that," I say, "No, this is the writer's cuff. I have to. I'm a working man.
Yeah.
I'm not nobody. The butler didn't put these on me. I had to put them on myself.
Right.
Because I'm a working man, and I have to use my hands, and so
I like that.
The writer's cuff. Yeah.
I might start wearing cufflinks just so that I can propagate.
I hope to. This isn't a cuffed shirt, I don't think. But I hope to get to the point where I only wear cufflinks. I've got like 10 or 12 pair. I get them at the junk stores.
Yeah.
One of my favorite pair, I don't know if I told you this, are the Cutco cufflinks.
Oh, really? No, you didn't.
I found them in a junk shop. Some guy got them, I guess, as a best salesman of the month in 1953. And it's a dog with like a little pipe coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It says Cutco across it.
Favorite cufflinks of all time are Kevin Spacey, the fictional character Frank Underwood. He has a FU, F and a U. I bet that.
Well, I thought the cufflinks would make a big comeback after Daredevil, but they didn't come back as good. But he was so into his.
Yeah. No, that's a thing too, right? I mean, that's
so.
The whole bit.
And on that note, we're hopefully going to bring back some sort of form of the Gentleman's Club. Is that something?
Absolutely, that's something that I would love to do and have been thinking about doing all summer long. So it's actually the best time of the year to start doing that again.
And I hope to be one of the other things we're going to bring back, except we're going to flip it and reverse it, because now I'm all for it. It's as simple as that. If you pay me, I'll do. There's stuff that I would never do in a million years that for $10 I'll totally do. And so on that note, I'm going to have to spend at least a night or two per week in Ocean City. With my new job.
Love this. I really I love this.
And so in 2 weeks, we'll be bringing back the
$40 and 40 minutes.
Right, I don't remember what it is. You got
Fine, $40, half an hour. Like, what do I do?
What night? Yeah. So I'm going to be in Ocean City at least one night a week. Probably Tuesdays or Thursdays. Those are the nights I don't have my kids. And so I'll plug it on here. I'll be like,
can I drag you around places?
yeah, absolutely.
Like, would that be something?
I think.
Like,
Well, I spoke again. I spoke with my boss, and like you guys are not involved with the
Yeah,
three folks anymore, right? So yeah, she's like, we don't. She's like, yeah, no, I think Todd and Natalie are awesome. So whatever you like.
That would be hilarious.
I think that would be, and it would be. I think it'd be a good cross promotion. Like I'm doing stuff that because we have. Let's face it, we have different audiences by about 10 years, maybe 15,
maybe 15. We'll do a segment. The 40-year-olds go to where the 20-year-olds are.
Absolutely. And then you can post how cool it is for the 20-year-olds, and I can push how, as a 40-year-old, you probably should have gone to Secrets for lunch 3 hours.
I like it.
I think a lot of things like that I'd really like. I'm outrageously excited about this.
That's awesome.
I'm outrageous. I'm excited to go to Ocean City. That's how excited about this weekend.
It really is amazing.
It's very cool, and I want to just check. Do you have any stories to tell while I look to see if I have any more?
Let's see. No stories to tell.
I'm sorry. One of the other things that happened when I was doing the ramble is I was walking along with this old lady, as I told you, right? And they had actual third wave beer in the pretend tap house. And she's like, "Oh, I heard they had some of that wave beer over there. I should go try some of that wave beer." No, I thought that was fun. And if you care to follow us on the Storify, it's my name backwards, OSSURYNOT. I did a little newspaper last week. I had news section, leisure section. I'm very proud of myself. And I'll be doing that more often.
Now that you don't have to put together an actual newspaper.
Right, like 2 more papers to put together. Okay. And they're actually throwing money at me to stay and just put more papers together. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We'll have to see. So just other headline news.
Did I talk about earlier that we opened a 4-year-old bottle of Bunker C?
You mentioned it, but we can talk about it more at length.
I mean, I think it's pretty amazing that Brian, our introduction to Brian, the brewer at Berlioz, owner, was because we wanted to document what was going on. And here we are, like 4 years later. We had his first run of bottles. We did this fall beer tasting. We've been doing it for 4 years now.
Right.
So like we might as well,
crack it open. This. I remember when he brought him out. We were. Don't want to get too nostalgic, but we were literally together.
Right.
When he brought out the bottles, and he's like, "Look at the bottles." I mean, if you care to, and again, if you care to go back, it's like Todcast 50 or something like that. It's not even that long ago. We've been doing this for so long. But you can go back to Todcast, whatever, and there's a picture of Brian and the bottle.
Here's another throwback. I was talking to Billy Todd, and he was one of our first guests. And when we were doing it at the Berlin coffee shop,
he got us kicked out.
He got us kicked out because I was drinking bourbon in my tea, and he was dropping the F-bomb every other word. And the Knitters Society, who was also having a meeting at the same time.
Right.
Not like this crew.
No.
They were not happy with any foul language.
The Berlin Knitters.
The Berlin Knitters.
The Berlin Knitters. And now, if you care to, you can't listen to it. And this isn't one of the "I told you so" things, but I told you so. Todd had our podcast on Podbean at the time. And so if you go to the Bayside Gazette, this is absolutely true. If you go to the Bayside Gazette website, they still have a link to the podcast. And if you click on that link, it has the most recent podcasts that we. And that is it has like the first 15 podcasts posted up there, and that's one of them. The Berlin Knitters is up there, and so that's a lot of fun. And again, I'm so happy to be back. I believe my office is on Bay Street, which is I think I'm next to Baked Dessert or someplace like that.
Shit, that's awesome.
Right around down in there. I'm going to still work from Delmarva a lot because that's where they keep the quiet and the creative parts. But I'm going to be up here again 3 or 4 days a week, taking pictures.
So we're going to be doing more live stuff.
Lots more live podcasts. We're going to, after this is over, we're going to sit down and figure out if there's a better time or a worse time. There's something about, like, it would be cool if we had people watching, but, like, when would people watch? I don't know. Like, do we do it on the night, like, one of the nights that I do the top, that we're, like, if there's a night that I'm working in Ocean City, do we do it then? Or do we still do it in the afternoon and and
Right.
promote it. Hopefully, we'll have an audio component as we discussed coming out. So all sorts of fun stuff going up. This is again what Todd pointed it out when I was talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, every 50 episodes we just change our format.
And something new happened.
Something new happened. Someone else is trying to get our attention. I don't know.
No.
It isn't insane. It's just so much fun. Here you're missing out. And I believe the reason we have 0 views is that anybody who would watch us is here ignoring us.
It's clearly here.
If they weren't here, they'd be watching us. But since they're here, they're ignoring us. And you can make of that what you will. I believe we're coming up against the half-hour mark, but I didn't quite mark the time. I believe we started at about 3:50. We started sitting down at about 3:50.
I think we're probably about
Cruising up to half an hour. So, what else you want to talk? We also need a new closing if we're going to be sitting.
What else you got?
I got nothing. How about you?
Did Todd give you the sense?
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to close it off for this week. Thanks so much for joining us. Check out next week's Todcast, when we'll have hopefully a better idea of what we're doing for the foreseeable future. But until then, may Todd give you the sense to live in a small town.
We'll see you next week at Happy Hour.
Cheers!
Everybody loves the Todcast.
We should have waited till the Redskins won. Finish it on that. Here we go.